guys, so I wanted to come in here and give you a sneak peek behind the scenes look at my complete insurance billing course for private practice and telehealth. So when the coronavirus started, I decided to record a couple of videos just to let people know how to get their practice up and running really quickly. So this first section here with the coronavirus, I'll just give you a little peek of this, has got a video just giving you information about how to get your practice up and running really quickly, because all of us had to do that during the coronavirus. And then I shared a special progress note that I made just for the coronavirus, and it right here talks about telehealth, and due to the HHS.gov guidelines that telephone services were approved, because usually you cannot conduct therapy over the telephone. So anyway, I made this progress note just to reflect that during the coronavirus crisis that we've all been going through. So this is the first section that's just available. And let me go back and show you some of the other sections. This section, I'm just going to keep it in here until the coronavirus is a thing of the past, hopefully soon. So there's a template guide on how to set up that note that I just showed you. And then there's some other resources. Amber Lida, she runs the online therapist group. She had a bunch of great resources come out when the coronavirus hit, so I put her in there too. And then there's some other things that are constantly being updated, like the temporary Medicare guidelines for telehealth. Usually Medicare doesn't cover, so they were covering, they were allowing telehealth during the coronavirus. Anyway, so after that section comes just a little bit about me, so you can know a little bit about my story and how I got here and why I created this course to help other clinicians learn how to bill, so you don't have to pay billers a whole bunch of money, and you can still take insurance and feel confident and have a profitable practice. So there's a little survey I just like people to fill out in the beginning, just to let me know what they need from me so I can continue to add to the course. And then here's some resources outside of my course that I think are really valuable. So the first part of the course is this investigation and exploration stage before you get started. So I think it's really important to figure out, what kind of practice do you want? Do you want it to be a telehealth practice? Do you want it to be a brick and mortar practice? I'm just going to show you this section so you can see what I'm talking about. I made this decision tree to help people decide a little bit better what type of practice they want to be in. Of course, my computer's running super slow. Let me scroll down. Yeah, so we'll let this load. Basically, you want to decide if you want to be brick and mortar, if you want to be telehealth, or if you want to be a combination of the two, which I just call a hybrid practice. So I made up this decision tree that kind of walks you through what type of private practice is best for me. You really need to decide this before you decide which insurances you're going to take in your practice, if you do decide to take insurances, because it's really going to dictate which insurances depending on which type of practice you want to have. So I think that's a really important place to start. And then there's some other information here if you decide to go with telehealth. So state information for telehealth, parity laws by state, which is very important to know about, liability insurance requirements if you're doing telehealth, and then just some other things to help you with the billing, like you'll need to investigate what type of EHR you want to use. And here's just some more information about the major insurance companies that you'll be looking into. And then here's a little bonus. I have an interview with Jenny Schottmeiler that is Accounting 101 for therapists. So it's really helpful to check that out as well. So let me go back here, show you the rest of this. So after that section, scroll down here. The next is just which insurance companies cover telehealth. This is a big topic and really important to investigate. This kind of walks you through who covers telehealth, who doesn't, how do you know, and some tips on how to figure that out. And then just different telehealth platforms, like sort of a tech bonanza, to give you some information about what technologies to use that are HIPAA compliant. Let's see, examples of other insurance companies' telehealth policies. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what the insurance companies are looking for with their telehealth policies. And then this is just a little tip or trick spreadsheet to help you learn how to sync your schedules if you decide to use different third-party platforms for scheduling telehealth appointments. So the next section is just understanding the language of the insurance companies, and I just really kind of go in depth here with what's the lingo so you can understand what you're dealing with. I think it's important to know these before you get started. So co-insurance, deductibles, co-pays, oh my. This just gives you more information about what all the terms mean, because you need to know that when you're checking benefits and that sort of thing. And then there's more information here and some great policy templates that I put together for your practice, so you can just like sort of plug and play with your insurance-based practice if that's what you want to do. So the next section talks about credentialing and contracting. So this just kind of gets in the nitty-gritty once you decide which insurance companies to go with, how to actually start the credentialing process, how to get through it. There's a lot of really great tips in here for that. Next, this section is just prepping to build the insurance company. So there are some things that come along with that in the beginning, and once you get these systems set up, it's really pretty easy. But it's just before you call to check benefits, what you need to do, and all the information you need to have, how to do the benefits check, who to call, what to say. I actually recorded myself calling the insurance companies so you could hear exactly how these calls go before you call, because a lot of people get really nervous about that. They're not sure what to say. This covers if you need an authorization for a client, how to do that and what that means, and how to bill with an authorization. And then just some scripts for clients when their insurance won't cover telehealth, and you can convert them to private pay if it's not going to cover. So I put a lot of different scenarios in here. If it covers brick and mortar, if it doesn't cover brick and mortar, and so on. So the next section is just how to bill the insurance companies. And you will really want to be focused on this section once you get through the credentialing and everything. This comes later after the credentialing, which usually takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days, depending on which company you apply to. But this gets into the real nitty gritty. There's a lot of detail in here, how to bill the insurance companies, the HCFA 1500 form. This is the claim form that you'll always use when you send in a claim to the insurance companies. This next section talks about modifier and location codes. It gets very in-depth. Let me click on this for a minute and just show you a little bit more about this section. So it covers what is a modifier code and the different modifiers that the insurance companies want for telehealth. It also talks about location codes, how to use location codes. 11 and 02 are really the ones we deal with the most. When you file the claims, you're always going to submit them on the 1500 form, and there's one below in this section just to show you more about that. But this covers the different sections on the HCFA form and where you put the location and modifier codes. This just goes more in depth, so anything you need, really, you can go back and reference any part of this course and help walk you right through the claim filing process. So this is just here an example of a HCFA 1500 form that I filled out just to show you where the important stuff goes, like the location and the modifiers and all of that stuff. So there's the modifiers, the location codes, how much you charge, and just a bunch of other details. So that section will get you going with modifiers and location codes. So let me go back here and just tell you a little bit more. Let's see. Go back down here. There's so much in this course. It's very comprehensive. I keep adding to it. So I hope you find this little behind the scenes look really helpful. So the modifier codes, and we get into the ICD-10 diagnosis codes, the ASAM criteria, medical necessity, what all that stuff means, CPT codes. This is a little video I did about that. This section, I love this section. This is smart billing for more money. Yes, please. Crisis codes, extended sessions, assessments, and more. So these are a lot of really great tips to help you get more money for a session. A lot of us don't even realize we're doing a crisis session, and we could be adding like anywhere from $25 to $50 onto that session just by using certain billing codes. So this section covers that. And then this talks about family codes and how to handle that. It's very in depth. There's a video in here as well that's a tutorial on that. This next section talks about out-of-network benefits and billing. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek in here. This is pretty in-depth. I've got a bunch of pro tips in here. If you want to check the benefits for the client, how to do that. I also created a guide to check your out-of-network benefits. You can give that to your clients and have them do it themselves to save yourself some time. So this section just kind of goes on and on about out-of-network. A lot of people don't want to get credentialed, so this is another option, another way to take insurance for your clients. So let me go back out of here, and let's see. Let me go down here and show you a little bit more about this. So this section just goes on the documentation for the insurance companies, claim rejections, how to handle those. This is a video tutorial I did about that. What if you mess up a claim? This tells you how to work that out. It's very, very informative because sometimes you will mess up on claims by accident and need to correct them. These are some tutorials I did about how to actually bill on an EHR platform, and also some of the major EHR platforms. I put their videos in here too in case you're using one of theirs. Billing companies, billers, pros and cons, so it can help you decide if you want to use a biller. I've got some billers in here I recommend. This next section is how do you get paid. It talks about setting up electronic fund transfers, business bank accounts, all kinds of information. HRAs, HSAs, how can you bill those, like credit cards, collection agencies. If for some reason the insurance doesn't pay and you need to collect from your client, this is some tips and tricks to get your money back, basically. This next section is just more information about insurance billing, just some other like videos and expert interviews I've done, TRICARE, EAPs, how to handle insurance audits, insurance recoupments or clawbacks. It's a 16-minute video I put together for you. And just some other things. If you decide to have a telehealth practice, I did a little section about addresses and virtual addresses and what that means. And then here I've included a case study section. So this talks about co-insurance, deductibles, and just different scenarios that might come up and how to deal with those. I think I've included everything I could possibly think of. For telehealth, if you're licensed in more than one state, what that means, how to handle that with insurance. And then here's a section, just the FAQs, like all things insurance. I put that in there for you guys. Here are some group coaching calls that I did. If you just want to get a look at what that's like, this is like, well, it's 106 minutes, so it's a lot of information, different questions and places where people are struggling. I find that people really find those helpful. And then down here, I've just put all the course templates and documents in one place so you can access these templates and just plug them right into your insurance-based practice if you want to do that. And then here are just some people and products that I recommend. I'm trying to really build this section up for you guys. And then here's just some discount codes that I've put together. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes video there. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you see anything missing that you want in this course, let me know that too. And I will be happy to add it. Okay, take care.